Hey everybody, Jimmy here. Welcome back to the channel. So in today's video, we're talking natural gas, and I think UGAZ is starting to show signs of a reversal. I'm basing my opinion on technical analysis, and I'm gonna open up the charts today and I'm gonna show you exactly what I'm seeing that's making me think that UGAZ is about to turn to the upside. Also in this video, we're gonna take a look at the natural gas report. It came out on Thursday. It shows a week-to-week comparison of natural gas storage, and we're gonna jump into that. I'm gonna break down the numbers for you, talk about what they mean, and then we're gonna look at the charts and see what the effect was. Also, to help you understand the natural gas report a little bit better, there's a really nice article on Investopedia that I'm gonna link in the description so that you can check that out. It's gonna help you get a better understanding of how to read the natural gas report. Natural gas has been on a downtrend for so long. This is a really exciting day and I'm super pumped to shoot this video because we might be catching that reversal on natural gas. Let's jump in. All right, first thing I want to do is dive into this report on natural gas. So we've got the weekly natural gas storage report, and I'm going to link this in the description below so that you guys will have this and you can go look at it. But if we take a look at these numbers, we reviewed this a few weeks back, and I can link that video at the end of this video so you can check that out and get another perspective on natural gas as far as the report goes. Now, what it likes to do is it likes to break things down by the region. So you do have the East, the Midwest, the Mountain, the Pacific. You can see all of those right here. Now, if we quickly just walk through them, you can see that the East was 660 billion cubic feet, bumped to 682. So there's a gain in storage. Same thing here, 760 to 790 in the Midwest, 168 to 173 in the Mountain, and on and on. A few of them were a little less, like here in the salt and non-salt of the South Central, and in the South Central we went from 935 to 934. So there was a decline in storage there. But overall, if we go to the totals, which I really think is the most important line of all of these, you can see that on 8/16 of this year, it was 2,797 billion cubic feet. Now, if we go to the 8/23, as you can see here where my cursor is, we're at 2,857. So what does this mean? This means we showed an overall increase in storage of natural gas. Now, when we get that, that can mean that there was less demand and now we have more storage. There are some other ways to break down this report and interpret it, but one consensus is that with more storage means less demand. So a lot of times when the gas report comes out on Thursday, if you have increased storage, you can get a decrease in the price of /NG, which is the natural gas futures. So the big spike up and the big spike down that we see on Thursdays right after this report comes out can be attributed to this number right here, or is attributed to this number here. And typically when storage goes up, you'll see price of natural gas go down. And I was doing a little additional research on this, and it sounds like a lot of this is based on just supply and demand. So with increased supply, you get decreased prices. With decreased supply, you get increased prices. So now I'm just gonna come down here to the summary and look at this chart down here, working gas in underground storage compared with the 5-year maximum and minimum. So this is a nice chart because you've got the 5-year maximum minimum range, which is this grayed out area, and then you've got in the lower 48, and then you've got the 5-year average. So you've got a few different things being plotted here. But you can see as far as underground storage goes, we've been ebbing and flowing as we go through warmer and cooler months. And right now, here's August of 2019, and if you look at this chart, you can see that we're starting to push back up in storage. Now, I anticipate as we move into colder months, we're gonna start to get a turnover, and storage is gonna go down because there's gonna be increased usage. And in conjunction with this, I believe at that time you're going to see higher natural gas prices. So /NG, the futures, is going to push higher, more than likely. Okay, so before you click away from this video, we're going to jump into the chart and I'm going to take a look at /NG. We're going to break down what natural gas has been doing on the daily chart, and I'm now going to show you why I think we're starting to show signs of a reversal back to the upside. And then we're going to take a look at UGAZ because that's the corresponding ETF to /NG, which is the natural gas futures. And we're going to see how it's moving comparatively on the upside as we're starting to see signs of this reversal. So with that, let's jump to the charts. Okay, here we are. We've got the daily chart and we're taking a look. We have seen over time this red line, which is the 50 simple moving average, we have seen natural gas touch and drop off this line many times. So this has confirmed our downtrend because we've been setting lower highs and lower lows on the daily chart and the weekly chart over a period of time since roughly late February. But now, as you can see, we pulled back into that 50 simple moving average. We had reversion back to that line. We look like we might be going lower, and then we bounced off this 20 simple moving average and moved higher. We've actually established ground above the 50 simple moving average, which we have not done. We have not had closes other than this little tiny close on this green bar right here. That's the only time we've really had a close above there that's been, and that's not even really significant until now. If you look at this green candle, look at the close, all this territory above the 50 simple moving average, and now right here we're showing a doji, and it is 12:30 p.m. on Friday. So if we close above this line, I am very bullish that we're going to bounce off this 50 and keep moving higher. Now, before you rush out and buy a bunch of natural gas, a bunch of UGAZ and go crazy, again, this is just my opinion, so take it with a grain of salt. This is just what I'm seeing from the technical analysis on the charts. This could completely tank on Monday. We don't know. All we can go is by historical numbers and what patterns have shown us in the past. So using technical analysis, I can see that we've established some range and some room above the 50 simple moving average. And as long as we close above it again today and then move higher on Monday, that's going to be pretty confirming that we're getting a move to the upside. Now, before you jump away, let me show you one more thing on this chart. I'm going to draw a line so I make this even clearer. An uptrend. If we start a line here and we draw it to roughly there, there's our pushback up to the 50 simple moving average. Now, the key for an uptrend is a higher high and a higher low. You can see over here, this was our current low. And I'm going to just put a little bubble around it so it's clear. Right here, that was our current low. Price action pushed higher, okay? We got this lower high, which is lower than these highs. So we're still thinking downtrend. Now, I'm going to draw that line back in. Here's our push down. Now here's the key. We didn't go lower. We didn't come back and break this low and set a lower low. Instead, what we did is we established this as a higher low. We had a lower low here because we were going lower, but then we set a higher low, which is a bullish uptrending sign. And then ultimately what happened here, if I draw this next line, look what we've done. We set a lower high relative to what was happening, but then we got a higher low. Then from there, we broke this level and now we have a higher high. So this is playing out to show the possibility of an uptrend. Here to a higher low, to a higher high. Now if we get another higher low and another higher high, we're just confirming that uptrend. So you can see this technical analysis is super helpful for determining if we're moving back to the upside. Okay, now to take a quick look at UGAZ. So UGAZ is that corresponding ETF to /NG, the natural gas futures. And so they should be marching step in step. So if we look at it real quick on the daily chart, you can see that we had been marking our lower lows and lower highs with all these bubbles. Now, as we got down here, we went ahead and we set another lower high. So we were predicting that we may be heading lower, but look what happened. Instead, we got a higher low from this one. We did not break this low of 11. We stayed up here and our low was 12.18. Then we proceeded to set a higher high right here. So this is key. If we draw our lines again, I know that the candles are a little smaller than /NG, But if you look at this, we got this push up here, then we got a push down, and that is a higher low followed by a higher high. So we're getting that uptrending look technical analysis wise. So take a look at this, compare it to what we just looked at for /NG, and you'll see they're moving step in step, both showing higher highs and higher lows, and we'll look to move forward. Now that we're above the 50 simple moving average, I'm feeling bullish on natural gas and UGAZ to possibly go higher into next week. Okay, so before I lose you, let me switch from this chart back to Investopedia, where I want to show you an article that'll help you better understand the natural gas report that we were just talking about. So let's flip over real quick. Okay, here's an Investopedia article that I'm going to link below. It's the Natural Gas Storage Indicator, the EIA report that we were just looking at. And this goes into some very good information about what is the natural gas storage indicator. It talks about right here that's an estimate of working natural gas volumes that are held in underground storage facilities at the national and regional levels. Then all these levels provide their numbers on a week-to-week basis, and they compare this week with last week, and that has a heavy effect on natural gas futures. If we scroll down a little further, you can see right here, understanding the natural gas storage indicator. This gives you some nice information where you get a little bit of history on the indicator. You can get the indicator's goal. You can go through some information about that so that you have a better understanding of what you're reading when you're looking at this natural gas report. All right, guys, I hope that was helpful. I tried to make it a super peppy breakdown so I don't tie up too much of your time. If you liked the video, give me the thumbs up. I would love to have you as a subscriber if you're not subscribed as of yet, and we'll see you next week.